Good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Oh,
Morning.
hello.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, good morning. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
From Nigeria.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys doing today?
Fine.
I'm doing great.
Awesome. I was trying to control the TV volume in my background, but we're looking for the remote. Is it loud there, or is it something you can manage?
Yeah, I can manage.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Let's see if we can manage. All right. So somebody is looking around for the remote. We're able to rectify that. But in the time being, let's see how we can go on despite that. All right. So welcome to class. My name is Akin Aregbesola, and you already know that this is meant to be introductory. So we want to, as much as possible, grasp the basic elements, the fundamentals that you need to understand this concept of IT, and then be able to make up your mind. One, if it's something that you are comfortable doing, and then two, the area of IT that you may wish to specialize in, because in the course of this, we'll be looking at you'll be exposed to different areas of IT. All right. But ultimately, within the cloud environment. Yeah, you may not know what we mean by cloud, but you get to know what all of that means. And this is not just a one-day seminar trying to woo you to IT. It's actually a 1 month training that would, at least after you have understood the fundamentals and you know what IT is all about, we go ahead to actually train you on at least one aspect of IT, so that at the end of the 1 month session, you're able to say, yes, I know what IT is. I am familiar with the different areas, maybe not all of them. And then at least practically, I can set up a network and configure something. For example, you should be able to set up a corporate network and configure user accounts. That is, act as the administrator of a corporate network, so that you can bring in users, you can sign up users, you can assign different roles and different levels of permissions to this user. For example, for a bank. All right, so that is the goal. So since it's a 1 month program, I'll be meeting at least twice a week. There's no need to rush anything today. The whole idea of today's meeting is to, like I said, as much as possible, bring you into IT. So at least you can understand the terminology. We can start to understand, not in one day, the terms. When we say network, when we say protocol, when we use all of these terms, at least you know where we're coming. All right? That's the idea, and that's the goal for today. All right? So, at this level, let me just get to meet as many of you that are willing to introduce yourselves. That's not compulsory. Oh, yeah, we're trying to do something about that background noise. Somebody has gone downstairs to look for the room. And it's a bit late now for me to change rooms. We'll do something about that. Thank you. All right, then we'll take it from there. All right, you guys can still hear me despite the noise.
Yes, sure.
Okay. All right, so altogether, how many are we here? About 14. So this course is, yeah, I already introduced that. I already know what this is all about. All right, so if you are willing to talk about yourself, where you're coming from, your expectation, we just use that to pick up. All right. And then, of course, you want to tell us where you're joining us from. Are you from Nigeria? I mean, are you in Nigeria or you're in the US? All right. Kolakbo, Tosin, Victoria, Amara, I see you all. Yeah, it's good to have somebody on video, not just me alone. All right. And this gentleman on video is Tosin. All right. Tosin.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is
My name.
Tosin Adetunji. I live in New Jersey. I work presently as a personal care assistant. And I'm also a certified Scrum Master, even though I've not been practicing anything, because I have a background in accounting, banking, but I intend to move to IT. Right now, I have a prospect in IT because I'm an agile Scrum Master, but I do not have the requisite technical knowledge to take into IT. So I saw the promo and I signed up. And actually, I also asked my brother to sign up. His name is Matthew. He's doing the 3-month program. He's in Nigeria. My goal for this program is a first step to learning about the rudiment. And at the end of the day, I intend to take some further courses to become a certified cloud engineer. Thank you.
Awesome, Tosin. Thank you so much. So are you practicing your Scrum or you just completed the training?
I just got certified.
Okay.
I'm trying to look for a job, but I don't want to go into the industry like a blind person.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I saw the promo, I follow you on Instagram. When I saw the promo, I said, no, this is the best route for me. Let me go learn the basics and get the requisite knowledge before I venture into full-time. And presently I work in the healthcare, but I wanted to leave. I've had background in banking. I worked 8 years in banking in Nigeria before coming to America. I've been here for 6 years, 5 years working in health, but I think I want to do something else now. That's why.
Yeah. Awesome. I get you. All right, Tosin. Thank you. Anyone else want to introduce themselves?
Yeah. My name is, I don't know, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. My name is Sadia. Sunday. I live in New York. I work as in customer service. So I saw this online, and I'm thinking of transitioning to IT. So I felt it was the best thing for me to do. So that's why I signed up for it.
Okay, Sadia. Yes, it's that's the intention. It's meant to be the first step towards developing a career in IT. Yeah, awesome. Good to have you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. With this handsome guy, Prestige. You want to talk?
Hi. Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear Shegun. Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Okay. My name is Shegun Ben. From Nigeria. Yeah, actually, I'm a business development executive. I work in the healthcare pharmaceutical industry. And I was introduced to the program, to this course by a friend. I actually told him I was interested in switching to IT, but I needed to learn the basics, So I wanted to get basic experience before I would move to a specialized experience or knowledge. And I think this is the right place for me because of the testimonies and the knowledge that others have acquired from here. So I'm actually looking forward to grounding myself in a specific area, maybe after this basic training or basic introduction to career switch, I'll be able to understand clearly where to focus on. So I actually look forward to to the training.
All right, that's beautiful. Thank you, Shegun. Appreciate that. So, anyone else?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. The last time I was gesticulating.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
My name is Prestige from Nigeria.
Okay.
I'm interning in a real estate firm as a growth analyst. And I'm looking to, really get a career in IT. I'm on Nigeria 1 for our hand. No good network. Okay. Hey. It's network, right?
Since your internet connection is unstable.
Yeah. So I'm looking to really get a career in IT, and I hope this would be sustainable for me.
Okay. So what are you doing currently, Prestige?
Oh, currently I'm interning at a real estate firm. I'm a youth service corper. I'm a corper right now, so I'll be running.
Okay. What did you read in school?
Computer science, but get a
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you're in the right place. So what are you doing anyway? You just use service, not necessarily. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, currently doing something outside that field. I'm currently working in a real estate firm, and as a growth. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Prestige, thank you. All right, so after this session, we'll break the class into two. Nigerian people, people in Nigeria would have a different session for the regular training, and then people in America will have a different session, even though we're only 14. So we're looking at an average of 7 people per class. which is really small, but we'll go on anyway. All right. So. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go. Let's start. Is there anything else you want to add? Anybody want to say something? Okay. Awesome. So let us start the introduction to IT. For me, can you hear me now? At one time you said you couldn't hear me. I'm just saying, can't hear you at all. That was like 12 minutes ago. Can you hear me now from? I didn't. Or you still can't hear? Okay, so let's go. Now, IT. Yeah, I can do it with the video so we can focus on it. Okay, so the whole idea of IT starts with this concept of networking. And what is networking? In IT, when we say network, what do we mean? So now we have a computer. Let's represent that, the computer by that. When this computer is by itself, all you can do with it is type, print, use Microsoft Office like Excel, PowerPoint, and it's not connected to anything else. We call this kind of computer or device, because these days it may not just be computer, it could also be, in fact, more commonly now, mobile phone, tablet. As a matter of fact, anything else like refrigerator and so on in this era called Internet of Things. But never mind about that. The point I'm trying to make here is that when computers are by themselves, not connecting to anything like we used to have in those days, we call those kinds of computers or devices stand-alone. But stand-alone devices are almost useless these days. Computers or devices, more generally, let me use devices, must be able to communicate with themselves. Instead of drawing 1,000 computers, let me just draw only 3 now, where this is the keyboard and this is the screen. They must be able to communicate with themselves so they can share resources. So there's something called resources. Resource will simply mean maybe like a Word document here, or a database there, or any file here that you would typically copy from here, travel 15 minutes to go and deliver to another computer here, plug it in and have access. This is not for this era. So it should be such that even while the file is here, the man here on computer 2 is able to access that file. In that case, the file is the resource. That's all. So whatever is available here that you are making available to other computers is what we refer to, other devices refer to as resource. And to make this possible, there must be some kind of connection between, whether you see it or you don't see it, it's a different story. Some kind of connection, whether wired, seen, or wireless, that makes it possible for this computer to communicate with this computer to communicate with this computer. This connection, which in most cases is wireless, you don't know, but it's there, is what makes networking possible. When you have that connection, we now say that we have a computer network. It is on this network that the whole idea of IT depends. Without networking, there will be no IT. Without one computer connected to another computer, to form what you may call okay, let's not mention that. Then there'll be no IT. So the fundamental of IT is built around what? Networking. What is networking? Networking simply refers to the interconnection of devices. What is the goal? What do you want to achieve? For the purpose of sharing resources. A resource could be a printer. It could be that this computer is connected to a printer here, and you want this guy to be able to print from floor 2 to floor 1, send a document to printer through that, and then it will be printed here. Even though this computer and this computer are not located in the same room. In that case, the resource that they are sharing will be this printer. All right? So that is networking. All right? So do you know the meaning of when we say standalone? Do you understand what we mean now? When we say resource, computer resource, yeah, that might be a big thing. But within the context of networking, do you understand what we mean now when we say network resource? And then we say networking, which is the preliminary interconnection that makes the sharing of resources between computers possible. You understand what we mean? Now, this computer could be wired. I mean, this networking could be wired. In other words, you use a physical cable to connect to a central device. This central device is typically called a switch. Switch. I'm actually describing here what is generally referred to as local area network. That is within a building, within your house, for example, you have one computer, you have a computer in one room, you have another computer in another room, you have your TV in your living room, you have your mobile phones everywhere, and all of them are connected together through your Wi-Fi device, for example. Yes, because all of this, the networking of all of these devices are within your room or within your building, within a very local area. We refer to this kind of networking as local area network. So depending on the size of the network, we could call them different names, from LAN to PAN to WAN, and basically until you get the biggest kind of network ever, where you are not just connecting computers within a building or within a town or within a country. It is now actually possible for one computer in one country to connect to another computer in another country, and so on and so forth. So this kind of big network that allows this interconnectivity between devices across the world is what you know as the internet. So the internet is a network, LAN is a network. It's just that they vary in their sizes. This one is global network, this one is local network. All right, so that is why on the internet, just like you're able to share resources within your local area network, you're also able to share resources like we are doing now on Zoom within your global network of devices. All right, so do you get the idea of a local area network now? I hope you can hear me because nobody's listening.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. So let's ask a few questions to see how you are coping. When we say network, oh, I shouldn't take that off. When we say network, what's your understanding? You don't have to memorize or quote some definition. No, your own raw understanding of network. Anybody?
Yeah.
It can be said to be interconnection of devices, of different devices. Yeah, this color code.
Yes, okay, color code. That's right. So where your devices will be, for example, what and what?
We have the major network and like standalone and the resource.
Yes, you said network can be described as interconnection of devices. So when you say devices, what do you mean? Give me example of devices.
Unless a computer, it could be computer, phone, tabs,
phone, mobile phone,
PC mobile phone,
TVs,
and every other thing. Yeah.
Every other thing, correct. That's fine. All right. So for a local area network, even though we're not focusing on that, for network within your house, for example, or within a bank, it is normally, the computers are normally interconnected using cables. What is the central device to which all of the cables connect so that you now have a network? What is that central device?
The switch.
All right, so that's a switch. So just Google switch and see the photo, the image of a switch, and you see that it looks something like that. And then there are holes here to which the different cables will connect, coming from room 3, room 4, room 13. These holes to which you plug in the cable is called ports. And the plug that you use to terminate the cable in order to fit into this hole, there are different kinds of plugs. This particular plug, this is just for reference. It's not something you must. It's called RJ45 plug. All right. So that is what a switch looks like. But in this era of cloud,
excuse me.
Yes.
So the box on the wall in our houses where we connect the Wi-Fi box, that's the port as well.
Yes. So that your Wi-Fi is comprised of your modem and so on and so forth, but it also has a built-in switch. So that plug, that box is your switch. Did you get it?
Yes, I do.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. However, it is also possible that you have this kind of scenario, like I guess in your house, where the box you mentioned, is it in the US or in Nigeria?
In the US.
Okay. Okay. So for the US, it's also possible that even though you can connect your plug, your cables, and terminate them on your RJ45 plug and plug them into your port of the switch, it's also possible that the central device would be connecting your devices wirelessly. You are not using cables. All right. So when you do this without using cables, yeah, your TV is connected, your phones are all connected to the same network, but there are no cables, unlike this case. In that case, this central device is not called switch because it does not fit the description of the switch. This central device, in that case, instead of calling it wireless switch, we'll now call it access point. Access point. All right. So there are two architecture for designing your, in this case, local area network. One could be wired using a switch, the other one wireless using your access point. All right. This is the most common case, or the more common case, especially in the US, wireless. But again, the same device can act as your switch, as well as your access point, as well as your modem, as well as, and so on and so forth. That's why I put this. So when you want to connect wirelessly, the box will do it. When you want to connect using cable, the box will do it. The modem that connects you to the internet, the box will do it, and so on and so forth. All right, because as an IT person, you should understand how these elementary things work before we even talk about going into cloud to do the real thing. All right. Who can give me an example of a network of a resource that can be shared on a network by devices connected together in that network? Yes, Prestige.
We could share data.
Okay, at this level, at this stage, I don't know what you mean by data. Remember that not all of us read computer science. So say something that we can relate with.
We could share files.
Share files.
Yes, files is more like that. All right, what else can we possibly share on a network? Yeah, file is a good one. Any other one, just to make sure that you understand what resources.
Share pictures, videos.
Okay, awesome. So that is it. So these are things you can share on the network. If the devices were not connected one way or the other, then you'll not be able to share. The fact that you can share pictures, videos, file, I mean, they are files actually, or even physical devices like printers. It means that those devices sharing those resources are networked. All right, let's move on.
Okay, excuse me. When we have like, like the intercom on the phone,
Okay.
when everyone has like their own line, but it can be shared in the same office through the intercom. Well, is it like the sharing? Is this?
Yes, that's sharing. So that is also a network. Anywhere sharing is involved, this network. The only difference between that kind of network and this kind of network is that in this kind of network, like Prestige said, we are sharing data, but on that network, we are sharing voice, only voice. So there are things that this data network will be able to carry. For example, video, like somebody said, but this voice network will not be able to carry. It's only voice. Yeah, but essentially they are both networks. One is data network, therefore you are using switch and access point. The other one is voice network, therefore you are using what they call PABX. Have you heard of that? Yeah, well, essentially, yes. Hope you got that explanation that even though they are both networks, they don't carry the same kind of data. They carry different kinds of data. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go on. Now, let's take this up. Now that you know what a network is, let us say that within a building, you have a network. The kind of network you have within a building, what's that kind of network called?
Local area network.
Local area network. Wow. Is that my noise echoing from your end, or you have your own noise in your back? This is for the common. I hear so much noise. Maybe it's my echo. Yes, it's called local area network. Just bear with me. Next time I will not be like this. If I knew, I would have changed rooms before the class. I thought I'd be able to find the room. Okay, so now we have a building here, maybe the branch of a bank. So, okay, let's make it bigger. So, what we have here is we have this computer. We have this computer. We have this computer. for a local area network. Local area network. For example, office, branch office of a bank. Okay, so usually on this computer, yeah, even though we know, let's call this computer specifically now. On this computer, you have an operating system running. You have an operating system running. You have an operating system running. The operating system here is Windows 10 or Windows 11. The operating system here is Windows 10 or Windows 11. The operating system here is Windows 10 or Windows 11. I mean, any of the Windows, actually. That's all you are used to for local area network. When you have all of this connected, like we already explained, then we have a network. This kind of network is technically called within at the operating system level. Okay, first of all, there are two layers of the network. The physical layer, as you saw when we discussed the cabling or the wireless, and then the networking at the layer of the considerations of what happens inside here. So physically it's a local area network, but at the operating system level, this kind of network, because this one is running Windows, this one is running Windows, this one is running Windows, they are all the same. It's called peer-to-peer, peer-to-peer network. All right. So in other words, the kind of computer you have in your home, when you connected your cables to that switch you talked about on your wall, is peer-to-peer. All right. Peer-to-peer. But there's a different kind of local area network. The local area network could be peer-to-peer or a different kind called client-server network. What is the difference? The difference between peer-to-peer network and client-server network is that there is a server. So instead of this guy running Windows, he's going to run a server operating system. An example of server operating system is any operating system that has the word server there. For example, Windows Server. When you have one system, at least one system running a server operating system, and then the rest are running the client operating system. Give me 1 second, guys. Just 1 second. Hello?
Oh, shit.
All right, guys, are you still there?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, really sorry about this, my background noise. Please bear with me. We'll just do 1 hour today and then it will not happen again.
Okay.
And then the call I just had was an important one, so I'm done with it. Okay, so I was trying to explain that there are some local area networks that are peer-to-peer, where all of the computers are running exactly the same operating system. Peer-to-peer means friends, they are the same, peer-to-peer, they are exactly the same. But there are other situations where there will be a special computer that is running the server operating system. Because there is one running the server operating system, this one becomes the king, the father, the server of the network. It's no longer peer-to-peer. This kind of network where we have at least one server operating system and the other ones running the regular operating system, this is called the server, and these are called the client. This is client, and this is client. So when you have a server and then you have client on a local area network, what do you call that kind of local area network? Client server network. Otherwise called corporate network. So anytime I say corporate network, which I'll be mentioning a lot, I mean this kind of network where there is a server in place. So the person who gave the example earlier on, the network you have in your home is not a corporate network, it's a peer-to-peer network. But this one that are normally run in the office, in offices, they are called corporate networks. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what are we saying? The fact that you have that kind of network that we drew earlier on does not mean that they can call you to a bank now and say, Richard, please, I know that you just completed this training with Akin. Come and help us set up a corporate network. No, you do not qualify. To qualify for that, you need to understand this server. Understand what the server does, how to set it up, how to configure it, how to admit users into the network so that whoever does not have an account here is not able to access resources on this network. It is your ability to do all of that that makes you a corporate network engineer, otherwise called Windows Server Administrator. And that's what you will be at the end of this 1 month course. Yeah, even though the title seems big, it's no big deal. It's just elementary level of IT. Yeah, people get job with this. In the US, you can get like $25, $30 per hour kind of job. But it's the base. It's the base of IT. It's not really big. So if we say that is IT, that is at this level. So many people can study this and qualify. But we are attempting to take you to this level of DevOps, where only few people qualify, and therefore the money is high. The money is big here, and the money is small here. So this is the level we are now. And like somebody said, after that, we'll move up to here. After that, we'll move up until you become there, or you decide that, okay, this is too hard for me. It's not something I want to go for that. Let me branch off to a different level of IT and so on and so forth. All right, so back to class. Who cannot tell me the difference between a peer-to-peer network and a corporate network? Anybody?
Okay, a peer-to-peer network is when we have the operating system as the same. For instance, when you have the network to be Windows operating system, when all the operating systems are the same, we can call that peer-to-peer network.
Who is that? Who is talking so that people will know that you know this thing and come to you?
Okay,
who is that?
Ben.
Shegun Ben, right?
Yes, sir.
Shegun is the Scrum Master, right?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, go on, Shegun.
Yeah, then the client server network is when we have other resources connected to a particular network which serves as the server operating system. So we call that.
So it's basically where you have the server operating system running in at least one computer, and that server operating system is Yeah, you are right. I'm just trying to remove that phrase, other resources. So just mention the resource specifically, the server operating system.
Okay.
All right, beautiful. Okay. The whole idea of introducing server, of replacing a peer-to-peer network with a client-server network, in other words, of changing one of the systems to server, what does it introduce? What does it bring into the network? What does it introduce to the network? In other words, what's the main difference between I have not mentioned it, so let me see who knows it, between a client-server network and a peer-to-peer network. I know that the difference, like Chego already explained, is that one has a system running a server operating system. In other words, one has a server, the other ones have all systems running exactly the same operating system. But one running a server, what does it bring? What benefits does it bring to the system? Yeah, go on, President.
Sorry, in my words, I would say administrative rights, such that that serving system will be able to manage the other clients.
Correct. You are right. Very correct. Okay, but there is one word for what you just described, and that word is security. So it brings in security. All right. So that ability to administer, to determine who has access to what, who does not have access, who can use these resources, at what time can this, all of that is under security. So a client-server network has security, but a peer-to-peer network has no security. Awesome, beautiful. All right, so now that we know, let us move ahead. So I hope you are getting these terms. And at the basic level, you know what we mean by security when we say a network is secure. Okay, let me find out if you know. If people are not showing your video, so I'm not able to. Yeah.
Like where I work, we have like a particular system that is set out in a place that is called a server.
Yes.
And that server is kind of connecting everybody in different offices on our desktop, those that use laptop. And that server kind of gives us speed to running our internet system in our different offices, like in whatever we're doing. Is it the same as what Ben explained? Because that server is kind of, it's a speed to what we all do. It gives us speed. So I don't know. Is it the same explanation? Because every one of us everyone's computer is connected to that particular server. And when it's turned off, none of us will have access again to what we're doing, except when that server is turned on. So when it turns on, it makes us like speed up to our internet access. And sometimes it runs slow. We have to call an external technician because we're not trained to do that. We call an external technician or the people that are providing us the network to come and look into what is happening. Is it the same explanation to what Ben explained?
Yes, capital letter, yes. The same explanation. So this server, is it physically located in your office?
Can you say that again? Yes. Sorry.
So the server is something you can see. It's somewhere in an office, and the room is labeled server room, out of bound to nonsense.
It's not really like out of bound, but it's in a particular room with some computer, some copy machine, and it's just sitting down there.
Yeah, it's called server room. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly what Ben explained. It's the same thing. Yes, exactly the same.
So it's basically for speed today. to
No,
internet.
not speed. That's where you confuse me when you introduce that speed.
Okay, that's where I'm trying to.
You are not using
like,
the right word. Yes. Okay, let's explain it like this. Everything you explain is correct. It's what Ben explained. It's just that word speed that I'm not comfortable. Okay.
So that was why I asked the question, because it was kind of looking different from what Ben, said, and what you also explained.
Okay, let me re-explain it in the way that fits the way you understand.
Okay.
So the server is the central. Oh, it's already the center, so no need for me to look there. So let's call this the architecture. So the server is the center of the switch is only the physical central, but logically server is the central. So you have your server. This is how all of your systems are interconnected. So your system 1, your system 2, your system 3, your system 4, everything is centrally administered from your server. This is how it is logically, at least in your head, maybe not physically. You may not see it physically like this. So for this computer 1 to connect to computer 5, it has to go through the server.
Okay.
And then the server will say, who are you? Wait at the gate. Who are you? Show me your ID card. Oh, username, password. And then we'll check this register. Okay, I've looked at the register. I see that you have a, oh, no problem. Oh, yeah, coming. Where do you want to go? And then we'll now put you on that part and then now connect. So all of that security check, authentication, accounting, authorization that happened here was within the server. That is what happened. So what now happens is if this server is not, if this server is not here, will this guy still be able to connect to this guy? You will not now, because the central. Yeah. So that's exactly what you just explained, Amar. So the server is central. It's not just central as a physical device. It's central as an authority that manages the entire network. So once this server is down, or it has virus or something is wrong, before you call your technician to come and check what's going on, then this guy will either not be able to connect to this guy, or will be slow in connecting to this guy because there is something wrong here. So by the end of this 1 month, you should have clearer idea about what can possibly happen here that would slow down the connection of this guy M to this guy J. All right, so that is this work of the server.
Okay,
this
and
fits your
also,
explanation.
Yeah, the explanation is okay. Then when we started the class with you asked us, or somebody explained about sharing files. So is it in this server that the files are being stored? That
we'll take care of that. Well, remember, we are not into networking yet. We have not even installed the server. So all of those questions, we'll take care of them when we get practical. We're just doing an overview now.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you are going to create file server and share it, and then by the time you do it practically, you know where they are. All right. Well, your question is well. Yeah, Victoria was trying to ask a question. Or was that Victoria?
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Which Victoria is this? Is this Victoria and Amara? Do you know each other?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I know you now.
All right. So I was trying to elaborate on the server when she was asking if it's just the internet speed. I think it's not just the internet speed. It also has to do with other things associated with the business or what you guys do in that place. So for instance, if you're in the banking sector and then the banking apps are down, that's why, because the server is also is slow. So that's when they say, oh, our systems are down, not just because the internet is down.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's correct. So the purpose of your server is primarily for your corporate network, first of all. So like Victoria explained, it's primarily for in the banking sector, for example, the database of all of your customers. I mean, it's first of all for the internal purpose. However, if you now also want to bring in something external, for example, the internet, of course, it is coming into the server first. And then once the server receives it, whatever is in the server, it is what comes into the server that is made available on the network. So whether that server content was originally internally generated or it came from the outside as internet or as data, yes, they are both relevant aspects of the work of the server. Yeah. But between these two, the more important one is the, Victoria said, the internal work that is done. Because there are other devices that can do this work. You don't really have to give it to the server. You can give it to the switch directly. Anyway, we understand all of that. Now, I want to see if I can bring, at least introduce you to cloud. Mention cloud somewhere here before. Okay, but so far, so good. Now let us link. Where is the place of cloud here? Now, you remember that everything we discussed here is just about the server operating system, right? What about situations where you now have another branch office here and then another branch office here? In other words, what you have here is repeated here, many computers as well. And then it's repeated here, many computers as well. Even though this server manages this branch, and then this server manages this branch, and then this server manages this branch. Do you think that there should be a server? Okay, now all of the branches are connected together. So this is a LAN, this is a LAN, this is a LAN. Now, by connecting all of the branches together, what do we have? We have a bigger LAN. Right? This kind of bigger LAN, let's give it a different name because if we call it LAN again. So this kind of bigger LAN made up of many LANs together is called an enterprise network. Right? Now, the question I want to ask you, do you feel that this enterprise network should run its own server, different from the servers that are running the individual LANs?
Yes.
Who does not feel so?
Yes.
It's logical, right? Everybody agrees.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So this is, since it's a branch office, this is another branch office. And this is the head office. So this special server running the enterprise network should be in the head office. Do we agree?
Mm-hmm.
All right, beautiful. Now, this special server running the enterprise, should it run the same operating system as this one is running, as this one is running? No, it should run a bigger, a broader, a more reliable kind of operating system that can even control this server operating system. There are many people here. How come it's just few people? The rest of you, are you hearing me and are you understanding what we're saying?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
We are with you.
Yes,
So
sir.
okay. So you agree that this kind of operating system should be bigger and better than this operating system. This server operating system should be bigger, better, more reliable, more cost-effective than this server operating system that is only managing this, and this server operating system that's only managing this. That's right, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this kind of server operating system that is running an enterprise is not Windows Server. It's a special kind of Unix-based operating system. So this is where the term Linux comes in. So this server will be running a Linux operating system. So as a Linux engineer, you are no longer this small person that runs corporate network. Are you still with me? So as a Linux person, you are the person that manages the enterprise network. So your salary will be bigger, in fact, much bigger than the person that manages your corporate network. So Linux is enterprise. So that is why after you have learned server operating system and you can manage your corporate network, the next thing to learn will be your Linux, so that you can now manage your enterprise network. All right, Bingi note. You have a question?
Yeah, so quick question. If you're looking at this Linux, the other servers that are small in the other corporate network, are they also Linux, or they don't?
No. They are running Windows now, Windows Server. That's what we just. The other servers are running Windows Server operating system. It's only the enterprise
one. The Linux will be the big one for the enterprise.
Sorry?
The Linux will only be the big one for the actual enterprise.
Yes. The one for the corporate will remain Windows Server.
Okay.
Apparently, you just joined us because we talked about that before. Did you just join? Did you come late?
That was in a different meeting, sorry.
Okay. All right. Any more questions? Everything clear? You know what? Let me ask questions. What are you? Let me see. Where's everybody? Now I'm going to mention names. Give me 1 second. Trying to get. There's somebody called Tosin Kola for Shegun has been contributing. Shadea, the New York lady. Where are they? Shadea, what's the difference between a corporate network and an enterprise network? Corporate network, enterprise network. What's the difference? All right, let me not put the pressure on one person. Who can help? Anybody? Anybody? Corporate network, enterprise network. Where's my video? Prestige, okay, go on, Prestige.
Right, so a corporate network is, the one where we have like the client server operating system, the one that mostly is being set up in office spaces, right?
Okay.
And an enterprise would be, when you have to like join those office spaces in different respective geographical area together. So the interconnecting of those office spaces, together would be the enterprise network.
Beautiful. So you read computer science, right?
Yes, please.
And then have you had a formal training in IT outside your classroom?
No, this is my first.
Okay, because you're doing great. You're explaining in ways that shows that you understand what you're saying. Okay. All right, so another question would be, so Aerofy, can you hear me? Folake, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so Folake, my corporate network would run a server operating system. For example, Windows Server 2016. That's the operating system my corporate network would run. What operating system should my enterprise network server run? Folake.
I'll say it should run a bigger one.
Give me the name.
Linux.
What's the name of the bigger one?
Linux.
Linux. Correct.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so yeah, apparently you guys are following. Okay, so let's go back to what's my yeah, Prestige, you want to say something?
No, please. Sorry, I forgot to lower my hand.
Okay. All right, good. So now, in these times of machine learning, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, in fact, in this era when you know that the world, we're basically digitizing the whole world. We're digitizing everything. We're creating another world outside the physical world. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it amounts to. We're just creating a new world outside the physical world. So what we are trying to do, what we have started doing, I mean, the IT industry from Facebook to Google to Amazon to metadata and all of the things that are going on now is that they want to move these things from the physical state to the virtual state, to the digital state. So to move everything that you just understood now to the internet, so that this one here, this here is now represented by that on the internet. There are no longer physical machines. That's why I was asking Victoria, those servers that she was referring to, are they physical in a room? But these days, it's possible now. In fact, not just possible, that is why you are learning, you are coming into IT, so that you can go out there and support organizations that are doing it, to take this whole corporate network and move it to cloud. So this is cloud now, so that it is no longer physical, but you can now access it from your device, from your computer, and set up this whole thing without the need for physical servers. Instead, you have virtual servers. No need for switches. Instead, you have virtual switches. No need for cablings. Instead, you have virtual cable. And everything you had here that cost you like $300,000 to set up, you can now set up here with just $30. And it will do even better than it was doing when it was physical. And then the same thing for the whole enterprise network. Can actually move your entire enterprise network into a virtual representation. All right, so this place that you move them into, so that you don't have to physically go to office anymore to run your Linux server, to run your cable and all of everything is now represented digitally. That place is what we refer to as the cloud. Cloud. So what is this idea of cloud? The idea of cloud is that because the world is moving into what we call the Industry 4 revolution, where things are now, well, basically handing over the world to machines. So these things are now moving from being physical to being virtual. So that virtual side, that virtual reflection, that virtual with image of the things that we see here is what we refer to as cloud. So practical example would be that physical shops physical malls that you used to go would no longer exist, or they are depleting right now, because this big shop that we used to run electricity, pay workers, and spend a lot of money on budget is now just a website. Let me just call it website for now. It's not actually the right thing to say, but we'll get to the right thing. It's now only a website in online where they are now selling what they used to sell in physical shops and making even more money because they are now globally available and not just locally available to the people within here. So that is a typical result that you would expect to generate from moving this network environment with all of its security and everything that it represents into cloud. And this kind of movement from physical to virtual is called
I don't know if it's my network or the line is breaking.
Okay. Is it breaking for everyone, or was it just?
No, it's not breaking.
Not breaking.
Okay. Yeah, it was your network. So that is it. So do you understand the place of cloud in all of this, from a standalone system to a network of systems within a LAN environment that could be peer-to-peer or corporate to enterprise, and then migration of this whole concept from physical to virtual using cloud? Questions, contributions? I think it might be safe to take a break. Yes, questions. Are you still hearing me? Questions, contributions? Okay. I don't ask you questions, then let me ask you. Tosin. Tosin, are you there?
I'm here.
Tosin, what is the place of cloud in network?
Cloud is the next the next place where all the apparatus of networking is being moved to, in which IT or activities can be carried out without the availability of the physical components being with that person.
Okay. So you said cloud is a place, and then you are saying without availability of components. So where is this cloud? Is it in America, or is it a place that you have to travel to?
No, sir.
Huh?
The cloud is, it could be any location where one can have access into the network of systems that is available that can be run remotely.
Yeah, but I'm saying, where is this cloud? You say it's any location. So where do I have to travel to in order to access cloud? Do I come to Lagos?
The cloud is on the internet.
Okay, so you said something was physical. without the need for physical network apparatus, which is a good one.
Yes.
So does it mean that the cloud is not physical? Okay, somebody should help there.
The cloud is in a
So
virtual state.
Virtual is the word I was looking for.
Virtual
So your
state.
Tosin, your explanation was correct.
Okay.
Your explanation was correct. I just needed you to use that word virtual.
Virtual. Okay.
As relating it to physical. Yeah, that was just the missing. Awesome. All right. Fumi, has Fumi answered question today?
Yes, I have. I have.
You have, eh? Okay.
Yes.
So let's look for another. Olushola, have you answered questions today? Okay, Olushola is having connection. Oh, maybe they're even just coming. Okay, let's go this way. Idowu, you have your video on if you don't mind. Yeah, Idowu, you can answer now. Idowu, what is, so we talked about enterprise learning. Okay. All right, so that's basically, I run out of questions for now. So later on, we'll talk about the different providers of cloud services, and then we'll take a deeper dive into what cloud is. But at this level, I just wanted to introduce the term networking, and I mean, those terms that already talking about. Yeah. For now, cloud is just as explained by Tosin. But of course, we are going to, this whole course is about cloud. So we're going to delve deeper into cloud. But for now, just know that cloud is some virtual space somewhere that you can move your physical network apparatus to, like Tosin explained it, and continue to do business as if you had all of the physical equipment. So because it's a virtual space somewhere that you can access from your laptop or from any device from anywhere in the world, you do not need to physically go to that office anymore to do your work. This is the emergence of remote jobs. But you can now be in China, you can be in Nigeria and access cloud from anywhere and be able to work as if you were physically present in that office. This is why there is remote job everywhere. This is why you are in this training to learn how to do those technical jobs and therefore also take up part of this remote opportunity. All right, so let's talk about IT generally now. Any question that, just anything that will help you grasp this concept before we go into details. And then of course, as we go into details, we are going to we'll be mentioning other aspects of IT. Remember, it's a 1-month course. So we're not covering everything in one day. But if you have any concept that you need us to quickly explain further to help you understand the fundamental, bring them forth. Otherwise, that is all that I want to share with you. Any questions, any contributions?
Can you explain the Linux a little bit more? Because I think I was taking a call from my workplace when you were explaining it.
Okay.
So by the way, these videos will be recorded.
Okay.
This video will be recorded and it will be made available so that if you miss any part because of your work, you can always go back. And then I hear that you are taking another call right now. So
I'm taking another call. I'm at work.
yeah, I know. So we have the videos recorded because that would always happen. That's understandable. So you can always,
if you have,
as long as it's something with
notes, do you have notes attached to the
No.
Sorry, I have two questions. The first one is, sorry, would we also, if I may ask, like, would we be able to touch cloud under this 1 month as well?
No. Absolutely no.
All right.
You will just be fundamentals. Cloud will be when you come into the main course, not this $100.
Oh,
this is just fundamental. Cloud is up there.
Second question.
Here we'll be able. Okay, go on.
How would we have access to the video? Like,
I'll make the link available on the forum, and then you can just click and watch.
I'm not a part of the forum at all.
Okay, so let's discuss that. So what you are going to do now, because we are going to divide the class into two from now on. So how do we assemble you all in one?
I didn't even get a link to join this class. I came late.
So how did
Same thing, myself too.
I
called you too.
Sorry about that. But you eventually got a link though. That's why you are. That's how come you're able to do. So okay. So let's do it like this. Right now, as soon as this class ends, you have the WhatsApp number, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Okay. As soon as this class ends, please send me a message saying that you were in class today. And then once I get your message, I will add you to the group. So that way we have a common group. No course, please, just message. And then I'll share information, or specifically this video, and of course future information in that group. It's a WhatsApp group. All right. So
sorry, where should we send the message to?
The WhatsApp group. Do you have the WhatsApp number?
I don't have it. I don't have it.
I'm sending it to you. I'm sending it to the chat now.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for me. So that WhatsApp number, send make the message uniform. Don't just send I was in class today. That's all I need to see, because I get so many messages coming from different. So when I see I was in class today, I know where to add you. I know what link to give you. All right. So because the assumption is that as you are in class, you ought to be here. And then I also check to make sure that you have made payment for this plan. And then we'll take it from there. So once the video is there and you have access, and therefore we are in the same forum, we can always share information. So if the link is changing for the next class, we'll put the new link there. If there's anything that we need you to do, you'll be there. All right, so we'll start from there. And then altogether, how many are we here today? Okay, 16. All right. Yeah, any other questions? So in future, the link will just be centrally available there. That'll be like our server. So you will not need to. Any other question? Any other question? So once the video is made available, you can watch, take notes, and therefore, so of course, I'll also share the regular training time for American class. I will share there, and then the regular training time for Nigeria class will be shared in the forum. So you know when the technical training, so to speak. So some of the questions we are not able to take right now because they are kind of technical for the first class. We'll take them subsequently during training. We just wanted to bring everyone to the same page by introducing IT. All right, any question? There are no questions? Then we're already rounding up for day one. We don't cloud your mind with so many jobs.
Do you have notes for this class or just the video?
Just the video. All right. Any other questions? All right. So since there are no other questions, that will be it for today. What's today? Monday. So I don't even remember the specific time for the, or I'm sure many of you already have this. But again, I will share again.
Wednesday on Friday for US.
Okay. Wednesday and Friday for US. Good. So I may be the trainer, I may not be the trainer, but whoever is in charge, I mean, even if you don't see me the next class, don't worry. Whoever is in charge will deliver. This is just busy. So it just depends on my availability. It is likely that I'll still take the next class, but I may not be the one to complete the class training. But whatever it is, whether it is me or another trainer, is the same thing. So don't miss me. Okay. But Nigeria will definitely not be me. Nigeria will be the trainer in Nigeria that will be awake at that time and ready to deliver. For US, it may be me, it may not be me. I'll just see how I can juggle my other responsibilities to make that time available. If it's possible, awesome. I'll be seeing you guys again. Otherwise, I'll assign a trainer that will take it from this point.
Okay.
All right. Going one. Any question now? Going two. Any question now? Going three. All right, guys. See you in your respective class.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Take care, everyone.